Happy Sabbath, Church! Today's mission story is loving a neighbor. The old woman called out to 7-year-old Elliot in the African country of Guinea. "I see that you don't go to church," he said. "Come to church with me." Elliot looked at the next-door neighbor, whom he called Auntie. It was true he didn't go to church, but he liked the idea. He and his family had moved into the neighborhood just a few weeks earlier, and he didn't have friends. Moreover, he was curious to know about God. "Thank you for inviting me," he said. "Let me ask your mother for permission." "That's a good idea," Auntie said. "When she gives permission, be ready to go early on Saturday morning and put on your best clothes. We are going to worship God." Elliot ran home to ask Mother for permission. She gave it. On Saturday morning, Elliot woke up excited about going to church. Then he remembered that Auntie had cautioned him not to be late. He quickly got dressed in his best clothes and ran next door. "I'm ready to go," he said as soon as Auntie opened the door. "Happy Sabbath," Auntie said. She looked at the boy carefully. "Have you eaten breakfast?" she asked. Elliot shook his head. He had left home before Mother had finished preparing breakfast. "Would you like to eat?" Auntie said. Elliot nodded his head. "Good. Auntie said you need to eat." She served rice with tomato soup. It was delicious after eating. Elliot got into a car with Auntie and her family, and they went to church. Elliot didn't know anyone in Sabbath school, and he felt terribly shy. He sat all by himself, but that didn't bother him. He was amazed to hear for the first time about Noah and the ark. He understood that it is important to obey God. Noah obeyed God and got into the ark. Noah's family obeyed God and got into the ark. Even animals obeyed God and got into the ark. But nobody else obeyed God, and they all died from the flood. Elliot decided to obey God always. At home, Elliot told Mother about Noah. "That's a good story," Mother said. "You should be like Noah and obey God." Elliot smiled as he had already promised himself that he would obey God always. "I liked going to church with Auntie," he said. "I want to go every Saturday." The next Sabbath, he went to church with Auntie again, but this time he didn't feel quite so shy. Some of the children even spoke to him, and he even made new friends. He especially enjoyed the Bible story, and back home told Mother again what he had learned. As time passed, Mother began to look forward to hearing the stories that Elliot brought home from church. A desire grew in her to hear even more Bible stories. So one Sabbath she went to church with Elliot. Elliot was so happy. More time passed, and Elliot's older brother and sister also started going to church with Auntie, Elliot, and Mother. And so it happened that the family who never went to church now goes to church every Sabbath. Elliot is now 12 years old, and he is happy that Auntie invited him to go to church when he was only 7. If other Adventists would love to love their neighbors like Auntie loved me, they would be able to gain many people for Christ. He said, "If we treat people with love, we can easily win hearts for Christ."